En 1958, los hermanos Joe y Jeff Foster abrieron un pequeño taller de zapatos, pero nunca imaginaron que su marca Reebok sería una de las más reconocidas a nivel mundial. El camino fue largo, pero Reebok triunfó con paciencia, con mejoras continuas y escuchando a los consumidores. Joe Foster nos contó qué debe tener un emprendedor para triunfar, cómo dar a conocer tu marca en tiempos difíciles como este y cuál es el futuro de Reebok. ¿Cuándo empezó su propio taller de zapatos deportivos? ¿Alguna vez pensó que Reebok sería una de las marcas deportivas más reconocidas a nivel mundial?
When you start something and it's very small, you may have a big dream, but it is at that point a dream. You just hope you're going to be something, you're going to achieve something, you're going to be big, but really it's very difficult in reality to expect you're going to become, well, as we did become with Reebok, the #1 sports brand globally. Initially, you just want to make a difference. You want to make a difference. You want to hopefully become a big player, but it is step by step. And really, I don't think we ever imagined the size we would become until we managed to get into the American market. That was the big thing for us. We got into America, and then we could dream much bigger.
De acuerdo con su libro, usted nació con el ADN de improver, o sea, mejorador. Esta debe ser una habilidad indispensable en cada emprendedor. ¿Esta cualidad es innata o se puede desarrollar?
Yes, you have to have certain DNA to be, first of all, an entrepreneur, because you need to take risks. If you are that type of person who is willing not to gamble, but to take risks, and you have the energy to always feel that you can move forward, you can change things, you can be an improver. I also think that as you develop your business, and we had a lot of problems, as we develop the business, we do learn a lot more how to be an improver. So it helps to have good DNA, energetic DNA, the DNA that will take you that next step. But also you do learn how to really take advantage of that DNA and really be an improver. So you can learn.
¿Qué es más importante, tener una buena idea o encontrarte con la gente adecuada y trabajar con ella?
It's very important to have both. I think you need some good ideas. You need to execute those ideas very well. And that requires a very good team with you. And it does help. That energy you get from the team, the energy you give the team. So yes, have the right ideas, most important, but I found, and I always found, that having a good team, they're the ones that take the strain, they help you. So a good team is so important.
¿Cuáles fueron los principales retos de Reebok siendo una marca inglesa al expandirse en Estados Unidos?
I had recognized for quite a long time that in the sports industry, probably in many other industries, the big market is the United States. So to get into that market, it took me a long time. It took me a long time and a lot of failures. It took me 11 years to get into the market. And I had to find a way where the American market wanted Reebok, as against me trying to push the brand into the USA. Unfortunately, running became a big category in the USA. So it was finding the way in with a big category, and that happened as the magazine, which was Runner's World. They were the ones that also grew with the running market, and Runner's World gave us the opportunity because they looked at shoes and decided which would be the best shoes, and they did that by star ratings. We were in that market, and we knew we could actually get a 5-star shoe, which we did. And it was a 5-star shoe that really got us into America.
Y ahora vivimos en una época de crisis e incertidumbre. ¿Cuál es la clave para construir una marca global en un mundo conflictivo?
We do have a troubled world at the moment, and it does add to the problems of an entrepreneur or bringing a brand now, because the attention is on a lot more things like COVID and, unfortunately, the war which we see in Ukraine. This diverts attention from your mission, and your mission is to tell your story. but there are so many stories. So it's difficult right now, but these times do change. You almost have to wait. Or on the other side of this coin is people do want to look at things which are different than the problems. If you can find that area to interest people, take the mind away from the problems, you will get recognition for your brand. And life still goes on. And there's a lot of influences today that can get your brand and build your brand. So it's difficult. I guess in another 2 years' time, it might be easier. But right now, it's just make your best efforts to get as much public recognition as you can.
¿Cómo se puede conquistar a los consumidores más informados y exigentes sobre las marcas que quieren?
There are more brands out there today. Winning consumers. I think with Reebok, we have a history, a long history. You can go back into that history and tell stories. And I think today, people just don't want simple advertising. I think they want a story. And it's the story of a brand, where it's come from, its history, the achievements. These are the way that you can tell your story, which adds to the brand itself. The footwear then becomes something which has a life. It's had a history. With Reebok, the history of the family is well over 100 years, and a lot of things have gone on. And you can repeat, you can bring this information to new people. All the time, there are new people coming into the sports world who want sports shoes, and they like to hear that history. They like to feel they're part of it. For me, Reebok are very lucky to have had a long history. If I was a new brand, then it would be my whatever I'm bringing as a person today to the world, because today new brands are influenced a lot by either top players or top entertainers. So there are ways, and that's the challenge of an entrepreneur. You have to find what works. And today, there's a lot going on, but you will find it. If you're into your brand, you'll find the way to make other people buy your brand.
Y otra duda, ¿cuál es el futuro de Reebok ahora que ya no está bajo la marca Adidas?
Well, I think this is a good time for Reebok, because coming out of the shadow of Adidas, we can now see the brand again. And the new owners, ABG, Authentic Brands Group, they are very, very clever and good at retailing. And retailing means that the brand will now be seen. They will make it visible again. And the brand, they have partners globally. And within this next 6-12 months, we will see Reebok so much more. It will be so visible. And Reebok has lacked that visibility whilst Adidas were the owners. Now it's going to have great visibility. So for the next 2 years, all we need is to make the most of that visibility. And I think that's going to be great for the brand. We're going to see it grow. It's 1.5 billion to 2 billion at the moment. So that's his revenue. And within 2 years, that revenue will, and this is from ABG itself, will rise to about between 5 and 6 billion. So that is going to be good. Beyond that, we'll have to wait and see.
Y si su yo del presente pudiera regresar al pasado cuando usted apenas empezaba con Reebok, ¿qué le diría?
And that's a real tough question to answer, because if my present self, being 86 years old, I probably wouldn't have the nerve to start out again. But I guess the question is, what could I take back from now and take back as a young man? There are so many things. But really, I guess really starting a brand now, it would really depend upon technology. Only 2 days ago, we've been invited to talk to people about the metaverse and NFTs. So these are the things that you take back now. But it's a different world, and we didn't have computers, we didn't have smartphones. So all the availability of that technology, taking it back to the time when we started, we would be able to have a different take. And Where I would go is hard to say because there's such a gap in time, but certainly technology would be the big thing that would make a difference, a big difference to when I started with my brother in 1958 to where we are now in 2022.